Hey everybody, it's Lawrencia and you are watching After the Storm. We're here with a very, very special guest, Miss Southern Soul herself, Cecily Wilborn, back for the second time.
Thank you, darling.
We're so happy to have you. Can you tell us what the reaction has been like from the first session that you had here?
Oh my God.
Plenty views, plenty comments, everybody loved it. What has it been like for you?
Straight compliments and how did you get the connection? Who are they and how did you end up on that platform? It's been great, and the actual flow of it and the energy that came from the room, like everybody's been talking about how different it is, how original it is, how refreshing it is. So for Southern Soul's been, I guess, not necessarily dormant, but we've been a little behind, you know what I'm saying? We aren't as tech savvy as some of the other genres. We're still catching up. So for us to have this type of platform to be able to do things and put our music out, I think it's been a great thing for the genre, not just for me. Yeah. It's been great for the genre. I think everybody's excited about it.
Catching on.
Yeah.
So I want to get into a little bit about Cecily. I know that you were born and raised in Mariana, Arkansas, right?
Shout out to the Black and Gold.
What was it like living out there, and what kind of kid were you growing up?
I was very innovative, had a big imagination. There was nothing there.
Really?
We had 2 stoplights growing up. You hear me? Like we just got the 3rd one. Shout out to Mariana. We
moving on up.
Moving on up. You hear me? We upgrade. But Mariana was full of. It was a community. It was. Everybody talks about the village. Mariana's a village. Like I'm used to having neighbors that know all your business, but they not in your business. They know when you out of town, so they can watch your house, not steal from you. You know what I'm saying? So I come from people that helped me raise my kids. I come from people that, whether they were all spiritual or not, they went to church. They had a relationship with God. They believed in everybody succeeding in their own thing, whether it was fireman, doctor, nurse, teacher. They wanted you to be the best of whatever you were, you know? I feel like that's what's missing in society today, to be honest with you, because even Mariana is struggling now. Everybody's struggling. School districts are struggling. Every industry, medical, everything is struggling. But the one thing that we're missing is that community. We're missing that accountability. Somebody telling you, actually, you slip showing. Tighten up. We get so offended nowadays. We don't want anybody to tell us when we're getting off balance. But I come from a place that kept me balanced. So even now, even with the temperature of the country or whatever it is, when people tell me I'm falling off or whatever, I don't even take it offensively because I'm so used to people being those people for me, because that's only them making you better.
Yeah, you've had so many people clap for you. You don't really pay attention to who's not clapping.
It's always about where's the growth? Where's the growth needed? I don't care about being the best singer, but I want to be the best me. I don't want to be the best performer out there, but I want to be the best me. Because there's somebody out there that need to hear everything I'm saying.
For sure. And you brought up church. I did a little digging. I know you're a PK. You're a preacher's kid.
Shout out to my mom and dad.
So what was that like, and how has your dad, because I also know that he's signed to
Echo,
here in Memphis.
Yes. Shout out to Eternal Light Singers.
So how has him, being a preacher, but also having his hand in the music industry as well, how has that impacted you and how you are on your journey?
It was the best of both worlds for me. My dad he is a preacher. He's a pastor, been pastoring all my life. Shout out to my home church, New Bethel Missionary Baptist Church in Mariana. But he was also always about the business when it came to music. He wanted me to know, if you're going to write, how do you protect your writing? How do you put that out? I had, God rest his soul, I had an uncle that was in my dad's group when I was little. His name was Greg Franks. And he was the very first recording session. You guys can look this up, no joke. It's on YouTube. I just found this out because I didn't know. He passed away years ago. He was a sickle cell patient. But we did His Eyes on the Sparrow, and he did like a quartet version of it, right? Everybody knows His Eyes on the Sparrow. But he did a quartet version of it, and I was only like 13. You could hear the youth in my voice. Like, you could tell she was a baby. But y'all, my range was so much higher then. It was crazy. Went back and listened to it, and that was, I remember sitting, he didn't have a studio. He had like a little shed, like a storage shed where you put your lawnmowers and stuff. But he turned that into his studio. No joke. And I remember being in there my first time ever in the studio, in the red, and I cried that night. I was getting all these notes wrong, and I was the flat and sharp demon had me, child. But no joke, they stuck it in there with me, and that was my first experience. And I remember my dad was telling him not to be hard on me. But my uncle looked at him and said, if this is what she wants to do, she's got to get it. And ever since then, even when I cry in the studio when I'm by myself, it's like, Cecily, if this is what you want to do, you got to get it, you know? So shout out to the Eternal Light Singers for being my first people that ever wrote, let me write for them. First BMI check I ever got was with my daddy and them, you know, when I was a teenager. So I've been doing this for so long that it became second nature. A lot of people look at me like a unicorn sometimes, but it's like I've been doing it so long, it's normal now.
Yeah.
You know? So my background has everything to do with why I'm here. Most of the musicians that I have behind me are church musicians.
Okay.
They started in church just like I did. That's why we connect so well, you know? There is a different passion that you have when you get it from church because we're taught to use our gifts so that they make room for us.
Yeah.
So we don't play when it comes to this music thing. We joke and we laugh a lot. But when we get in rehearsal, we serious.
You know what? That was actually like a conversation that was had on social media not too long ago, is that like, do you feel like what music is missing today is that a lot of these singers didn't grow up in the church. They don't have the same upbringing and the same background, and that's why the music kind of don't hit.
And
the
I
same.
hate to say it, but they're right. Let me tell you one thing that church did for the youth departments. The youth departments, sunshine bands, what they used to call them back in the day. The youth department, they taught you how to sit up straight, talk with your head high, speak clearly, speak intentionally. Don't all of that was a no-go. When you got up to do your Easter speech, baby, you had to have an Easter speech.
Stuttering.
You hear me? And this is the most embarrassing thing. You get up there, you get stuck, and there you hear, y'all get it, baby, hand.
Take your time.
Nobody wanted that. So it was competition, but it was also like focus.
Yeah.
And it was teaching you discipline and how to be in front of a crowd and control your emotions and do all that. Church taught us that naturally. And it wasn't that we were faking in church, but they were refining us, you know? Now you go to school or they have oral communication or something like that, and they don't even really do anything. They write the speeches, but they don't make them perform them or deliver them, you know? So I feel like church is a lot of what we're missing, but it's not necessarily the church. The church, don't get me started on what we're missing about the church. Let's not go there, you know?
Not today.
Exactly, that's a whole nother conversation. But what I will say is something that the church put in all of us was that strive for excellence and that standard, you know? You can't just take anything to God. That's the way we were taught. So when we take that seriousness into our own professions and apply that, we're supposed to give that same effort in everything we do, you know?
For sure.
So I definitely feel like that effort and that intentional that lifting of the standard, it's missing.
It's missing.
But I'm gonna bring it back. Don't worry about it.
Yep. It's on the way. It's on the way.
It's on the way.
Just stemming away from, you know, your childhood and your upbringing, you have kids yourself, right?
I do.
How many
babies.
do you have?
I have 4.
Wow.
Yes, 4 beautiful, talented, musically inclined.
Okay.
But broke babies. My broke best friends.
I was gonna ask you, are they into music as well?
They have no choice. When I was growing up, my daddy didn't give us no choice.
Yeah.
And I don't give them a choice. I don't give them a choice whether they go to church. I don't give them a choice about what they are included in when it comes to music, because I feel like that's just a heritage that my family has as a whole. Even my grandfather was a quartet singer, you know? But I don't force them to do it as their passion. I make sure that they have the trade.
Yeah.
But one baby I have, he plays trumpet. I've never been able to play an instrument. Well, I can play enough to like produce, but fluently, he can play anything on that trumpet. He just picked it up in August and he's already like first chair. So he's naturally gifted with that trumpet, and I know he didn't get it from me. My daughter tried. She did trumpet. She did band for a while. My son plays drums. My oldest son plays drums. My baby girl is the Kool-Aid baby. She's everybody mixed together.
Wow.
She wants to do everything.
Okay.
She dances, she performs, she sings. And she more recently was watching YouTube, and oh my God, she was singing some song off of YouTube, and the girl can sing. Like scared me. I think it was one of my songs, as a matter of fact. And I was like, who taught you that? You know? I have some beautiful children, and the one thing that I want to leave with them is passion. If I can teach them passion, they'll never worry about working hard. You know?
We gotta get the family on a
Hey,
track
man,
or
they would
something.
love that. My dad is actually on a track with me.
Really?
So I did In the Country the last session I was here. If you go back to the album, you guys check that out. My dad has a reprise right after it. It's called In the Country with My Daddy.
Yeah.
And
that's so
he
cute.
did his version of it, y'all. It is not Southern Soul, because yes, he is a pastor. So he took us straight to church. And then in the song, he's like, baby, come get this mic. Come get this mic. I'm going to take over.
Take it away.
Oh, yeah. So my family, my mom included, my aunts, my uncles. My dad has a twin brother who sings with him. Like, when I say we get together, baby, and this is, today was literally like what we do at home.
Wow.
Like, we
That
just
is
get
so
together.
cute.
Everybody picks something up. Everybody gets to playing around. That's what we do.
Okay, I love that. I love that. Going into music, because you kind of touched on it a little bit, your dad wanted you to, like, learn what you were doing.
Yes.
You got a degree.
Yes, that was probably the hardest thing I ever
Really?
did. I don't know what I was thinking.
What?
Girl, I was married with 4 kids, 2 dogs, a cat, and a turtle in one house.
Wow.
And I was trying to find my way with a 9 to 5, all of that chaos in the house. But I still knew I wanted to be who I wanted to be. You know, I still wanted to get there. And my husband, shout out to him, if there's a picture on my Facebook page, no joke, I think I may have put it on my Instagram too, where I flew my entire family to my graduation. No joke. Because they watched me cry. They had to help me with chores, extra chores. They had to grow up kind of fast to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Because some of the stuff they had to pick up so that mommy could get homework done, because I had to go to work too. So I got shirts made. My mother-in-law made them. And so mine said, I refuse to quit on the back. Like the front said graduation bound with a little plane on it.
Yeah.
And the back, my dad said I was the dad. My husband said I wiped her tears. My baby girl said I kept her awake, which is what she did. My oldest daughter said I helped her with her chores. My son said I helped her with her homework. Like, everybody had a thing that they did, and they put it on the back of their shirts. So shout out to them. I didn't go through college alone.
That's good.
So I guess it was a blessing and a curse. It was chaotic, but I needed them.
Yeah.
I needed them for something different. Like, I needed everybody that I had for something different.
Yeah.
Shout out to the dog I had. Like, the dogs even was
down
like,
to him.
Even the dogs. Like,
Yeah.
everybody had a part to play. They played their role, and we all got here together. So that's why when they saw me struggle to do that, I wanted them to see me win.
For sure.
You know, that lets them get the closure, too, to say, okay, she didn't just go through it for nothing.
So what was the degree? Musical?
Music production.
Okay.
Shout out to Full Sail University.
Okay.
If you guys are looking for a music degree, really, they do everything from television to gaming to everything about the industry. Full Sail has it. But that was I've done college before.
Yeah.
My testimony, I tell everybody, I tried college twice before that, and I flunked out both times because I guess I just wasn't going for what my passion was.
You weren't following.
I wasn't
the plan.
following. Yeah. When I got in with music, even when it was hard, I still couldn't quit. You know, because I knew that was it. That was what I wanted to be. I thank God that was the route I chose.
Yeah.
Because now, a lot of the stuff that the industry tries to teach me, I guess hands-on, a lot of it I already know.
Yeah.
You know, so it saved me a lot of headache, saved me a lot of time. But man, if it wasn't for Full Sail University, there would be no Southern Man. I did that. My hit song, Southern Man, I did that while I was in class.
Wow.
My very first audio class, they were teaching us how to press the buttons. And that's when Father's Day came around, like right before June. And I was like, shoot, okay, I think I can figure this out.
Yeah.
And I went in there and I had some help with the mixing and mastering, but overall I pretty much did it on my own with just some mentors.
Okay.
And I did it while I was in school.
Cool. Okay.
So shout out to Full Sail.
I kind of want to go into Southern Man a little bit, so I'm glad you kind of pivoted. Okay, you said he work hard, he go to church, smooth walk.
Talk about my man,
That's
girl.
how you
Talk about my man,
That's
girl.
how you're describing a Southern man. So I want you to describe a Southern woman. Give me the definition of that.
A Southern woman is the support of that Southern man. When he go to work, we make sure he can go to work and do what he needs to do. We make sure that man eat. We make sure that man got a home. We make sure them kids are not only fed and taken care of, but they're nurtured.
Yeah.
And they're educated. We have wisdom beyond our years sometimes. Those Southern women come with a different level of wisdom because we endure so much sometimes.
Even the history
Even
just goes back.
You hear me? So there's something in us that is unexplainable, but they know it when they see it. It's almost like when I go to New York City, they tell me I don't have an accent, but at the same time, they like, we know you different. We know you ain't from
You
here.
ain't from
You ain't
here.
from here, you know? It's something that we carry, and it's a light. It's
sure.
like, they would say we look mean, but when you talk to some of us are the sweetest things
So
you'll ever
nice.
talk to. You
So
know what I'm
nice.
saying? We feed you. We gonna give you the clothes off our back if we need to, because that's what we're raised to do. Southern women are the backbone of the Southern home. You hear me?
For sure.
We're the backbone of the Southern home. Those men are like the wheels. They keep the car rolling. But man, we cover a lot in that house to make sure that the glue stays together.
Most
so shout out to
definitely.
every woman that is below the southern belt. We out here doing it, y'all. You hear me?
Another song is still, sticking to the theme of talking about the South, Living for the Weekend. You spoke very highly about the South. So I want to know, would you ever even consider moving to the city? Because me, I'm a Southern girl. I can't see myself out. I think the furthest I'll go is maybe like Houston or like Atlanta or something.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
Memphis is the city to me.
Really? What?
Y'all do not judge me. When I talk about Memphis, I'll be like, that's the city to me. God forbid if you try to put me in Chicago or something like that. That would completely just throw me into a loop. I wouldn't be able to sleep. The loudness and the siren. I love the silence of the South. I love the peace and the serenity. Fishing is my favorite thing to do.
I was going to ask you what your favorite activity was.
Seriously.
And mine is fishing as well.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's a
quiet.
peace. It's a peace. You can't think in chaos sometimes. And that water brings such a serene place for you. I don't know no other place I would go, honestly, when I'm having a bad day other than the lake.
Yeah, really.
So you can't get that anywhere other than the South. You know what I'm saying? So I think if I had a chance, I'd visit. But man, I'd be kissing the ground when that plane land back in Memphis. You hear me? Let me get back to the country.
Yeah. That's great. I was definitely going to ask you what your favorite country activity was.
Man.
I haven't been fishing in years, but I love it.
Oh, honey, whenever you want to go, call me. TT and them got the lake on deck. You hear me?
Oh, I will be there.
I got you, babe.
I got you. So back into the music.
Yeah.
You are on the same label as some of the greats like TK Soul, Sir Charles. What's that like?
Shout out
How did
to
that opportunity come?
Shout out to 1 RPM. So I'm gonna tell you, it was freaky. They reached out to me once, and I wasn't sure if it was really what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Like, you hear these stories about people with distro deals, and, I didn't want to dabble with anything that was going to mess with the chemistry of what I had going on at the time, right? Man, I think it may have been 3 months that I had told them no. Maybe 3 months. And a girl named Nisha reached out to me, and she knew my music word for word.
Yeah.
She knew like the history behind where I came from. She knew all of that. Freaked me out. So I was like, okay, let me give these people a chance because they act like they like me.
Yeah.
Let me look into them. And we got to talking, and they started giving me ideas. And it's like their ideas were the same as mine. And for me to have never talked to these people and it was lining up that way, I said, okay, God, I see you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to knock the door down. I asked you to open the door. If this is what the door looked like, then let's try it. I have met some of the best artists. Jeter Jones is like a big brother to me. He's also there. I got another brother, Squirt Kelly, that's from Forest City, Arkansas. Shout out to the Delta. Man, FPJ's there. Like, there's so many artists on that distribution level, and that is big for Southern Soul. Because that's one more level that we've never been.
Just keep climbing.
It's new, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to anybody. And 1 RPM is just one distro. I know that they're not the only, but they the biggest and the best in distribution of Southern Souls. They are literally the largest Southern Soul distributor in the United States. We're really in the world. So I'm glad that I'm the first female that they took on. Like, that's
First
an honor.
lady.
I'm literally the first female they took on, and when I was in Southern Soul, and it was pressure. That Country Girl playlist had to come hard. You hear me? Because when she told me that, I was like, oh, we got some work to do.
Yeah. And with that, so what message or what feeling do you want people to have when they listen to your music?
I want the Southern women to have a representation. I want the South to have representation. Most people, when they hear country music, they think of horses and cows and barns.
Yeah.
Girl, we from Arkansas. Everybody ain't got no horse. Everybody ain't got no cow. We
land.
got some broke down cars in the backyard. You know what I'm saying? But everybody is different. And this is the way I explain it to most people is if you go to Mississippi, the highways, you can tell you're in Mississippi.
Yeah.
When you go to Tennessee, the highways, you can tell you're in Tennessee. When you're in Arkansas, you can tell these are Arkansas highways. They all country, but they're all different. They're identifiable by their own different traits,
Yeah.
That's how the South is. You're going to get some R&B, you're going to get some country, you're going to get some blues, you're going to get a whole lot of gospel.
Yeah.
But we're all Southern. I want that representation. We deserve that hard-working representation, the people that fight to stay in love. You know, I know right now love is not the cute thing right now. Everybody toxic. You know, everybody's toxic now. But I grew up, my mom and daddy been together my whole life.
Aww.
That's a beautiful thing. It ain't common no more. So I think, honestly, I just want us to have representation. That's my biggest goal, is for people to see us for who we are.
For sure.
We don't have to, I got on makeup now, but if y'all see me on my lives, honey, it's a hat, natural face, no lashes, and I probably got my hair in a ponytail because I've been outside hooping with my boys or something. You know what I'm saying? That's Southern hospitality.
It is.
That's us. I want them to see us for who we are.
For sure.
And not make us be anything else.
I feel like for the majority of this conversation, we've just talked about, you know, the genre growing.
Yes.
It's getting there. So where do you think it's headed, and how do you hope to influence it in the future?
I pray to God that we are headed to mainstream. I want to see that representation worldwide. When they start looking for us in Germany, in Italy, in Spain, in Canada, in Mexico, and all they want is that United States Southern soul music,
Yeah.
I know we've done something. They already kind of catching on. Shout out to King George.
Oh.
King George is my big brother in the industry.
Yeah.
And that man is probably the sweetest when it comes to business. Like, he business now, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, like, sharing information or making sure people have what they need, he is for the artist.
Yeah. No gatekeeping.
If nobody else tells you, Cecily Wilborn is telling you he is for the artist. That man has paved the way because his music has been so original and so refreshing. I don't want to lower the standard, and I pray to God nobody else in Southern Soul does. Y'all catch on.
Y'all hear her.
But I honestly feel like where he is headed, where I'm trying to go, where a lot of us are trying to go, we all want to see the same thing, and that's just a bigger stage, bigger platform, so that we all got that representation.
For sure.
I think that's a blanket goal for everybody, to be honest.
Yeah.
So in 10 years, when y'all see us on the Grammys, or see me on
Remember where
y'all call Oprah and tell her I said that. Call Tyler Perry, tell him
Refer
put me in
back
that
to
movie.
This clip.
You hear
Put
me?
this beside it.
Archive this so y'all know I said it first.
Yeah.
You hear me?
So what's next? What can we be on the lookout for when it comes to Cecily Wilborn?
I am, of course, dropping the Christmas single in November 22nd. In January, I'm going to start really pushing one of the songs I did tonight, Be Myself. We're doing a campaign because for some reason, the streams are going crazy on that song. So apparently you guys like Be Myself. We're going to continue to be ourselves for a little while. But February, my birthday's in February.
What day?
February 7th, I'm an Aquarius.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 2nd. That's my mama. She's an Aquarius, too.
My sister's is the 2nd.
Groundhog Day.
No joke. That is
so
weird.
cute.
And my brother passed away. I dedicated my album to him. He passed away August 5th of this year. And he's January 30th. So, like, my mom, in a week and a half, got all of our birthdays knocked out. That was crazy. But my husband, shout out to him. He's taking me to a Mary J. concert for my birthday. And I'm doing a birthday bash February 22nd. So we're already pushing it now. We're about to start putting tickets on sale in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
We've got Mike Clark Jr., Jeter Jones, Anthony Q, Sharmika Jaquel, oh my God, Young Guy. But I've got something very special that I'm going to share. I can't tell all of it right now, but you guys be ready because this is something different, something new for Southern Soul. But I think you guys, it's going to put us in a really different place. So February 22nd, put that on your calendars as well. But the new music is steady coming. For sure. I ask that everybody just follow me, man. Follow me everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. If you look hard enough in Siggo, you can find me there too because the gas prices been dropped, okay?
For sure.
But follow me everywhere because the music, if I don't do nothing else, I'm going to keep putting this music out.
We love that.
Thank you.
Are your socials the same across
everything?
everything?
Yes, socials, Cecily Wilborn, CECILYWILBORN. If you Google, that's such a flex to say that. Google me.
Google me. I'm going to pop up.
That is such a flex. Google me, or you can just go to my website, CecilyWilborn.com, and it'll take you to everything from there.
Great. This was such a good talk.
No, this was amazing. I'm honored.
I'm so happy that you came to join us for the second time.
Listen, and it's not the last. Won't be the last.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure. Thank you, guys.
This has been After the Storm. I'm your host, Lawrencia Grose. We'll see you next time.